Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. It is a Sunday afternoon out there. It's a very blustery Sunday afternoon, which, I mean, it's bright, so I'm not complaining, and hopefully the wind is helping dry out the land because it is very wet out there. So you'll have already seen from the thumbnail and the title of this vlog that I am doing my November horse and stable yard must do. So we did September, we did October. Who would have thought I could have found enough things to make a November one, but I have. So I think November's a pretty tough time of year for equestrians. I think it's a bit of a slog getting through it. I don't think there's masses going on in November. I think the horses turn a bit wild with the weather. Personally, my lot have anyway. The ground gets really wet. The weather kind of starts, you get those hints of winter in November. It gets colder. I mean, it can't possibly get any wetter, but it gets wetter and windier, and it's just not that much fun. And also, we're obviously lacking light. So it can be a real squeeze when you get back from work to fit in riding and just getting stuff done. So yeah, I don't think there's many positives to November. However, it always makes me feel better when I get on and get some jobs done. So let's get cracking. So first up on my list is to wash my lovely Hass brushes. They are filthy. You know what horses are like at this time of year? Their coats start to get really greasy where they're growing their winter coat. They're just disgusting. These brushes are revolting and I need them later. So I'm going to get on and give them a good clean. They look a lot better, don't they, Eve? So while I'm in my utility, I've got another job to be getting on with, and that is giving my riding boots a really good clean up. I'll be honest, I'm really bad at kind of looking after them. I don't ever put boot polish on them. I put oil on them from the tack room when I'm doing tack and so on, but I don't ever like polish them up properly. And as much as I try really hard not to muck out in my riding boots or walk across too many fields in them, when I'm at work, sometimes I've got no choice, and they've cracked quite badly, these ones, and they've only done one kind of season so far. Most of them only last me about 2 seasons. I tend to wear them from like middle of autumn to early spring. But yeah, they've got cracks. You won't be able to see on it, but they've got cracks down the side. So the other day when I was walking across the field, I could feel it. So I'm going to give them a really good clean up, polish them up, and hopefully that will just help protect them a little bit better, because yeah, I've been really bad. I'm going to have to buy some new ones again soon. So it turns out I don't have any black boot polish. Don't know where it went, but I haven't got it at home. So I'm having to use oil again on the boots, which is better than nothing. At least they're getting something. And then add the boot polish to the shopping list. But to be honest, I love this stuff anyway. It's really nice. It makes the leather so soft. So one job I think is very handy to do now is to check you've got enough salt for the winter, because you know what happens. The moment it starts freezing, everyone goes out to the shops, the garden centres to buy it. Then you can't get any anywhere. And I swear there was one winter where it was really icy for like a good couple of weeks, and it just was sold out everywhere. You can get it. So go buy it now if you've run out. If you're on a livery yard, you'll probably be all right, because your livery yard owner should probably have salt. If you rent a yard or you've got a yard at home, well worth doing. So down here, hopefully in here, yes, in that bag there, I'm just going to try and lift it. Yeah, I've still got plenty in there, so that should do me for this winter, but well worth going and stocking up now. So next up on the list, and probably something the Victorians and Georgians and even further back than that would have done a much better job at than I do now, is oiling my tack. Yeah, I'm not very good at remembering to oil it. Like, obviously I clean it and use saddle soap, but actually there's real benefits to actually oiling your tack. Certainly at this time of year, because you're more likely to get caught out hacking in the rain shower. It's really windy, it's really cold, it's a bit more damp in the tack rooms. Your tack will appreciate some food, and oil will do that. And it just keeps it so soft, and like I say, hopefully it's going to last a really long time as well. So I have got a little bit of Equipped soft oil, which I showed you putting on my boots earlier, which I love, but I'm running out of it. And then I've also got some good old bog standard Cars leather oil. All does a good job. The only thing I would say is don't oil your tack if you're about to use it in the next few hours. Ideally, you want to kind of give it 24 hours, because when you put it on there, it does tend to take a while to kind of sink in and for the leather to kind of drink it. So give it a bit of time, otherwise you've got to pick it up and put it on your horse while it's really greasy and oily. So make sure you've got kind of, maybe it's when your horse is about to have a day off or something like that, but it will really do your tack wonders. And yeah, so I'm going to get cracking. I would say be careful what you wear, because oil really stains, especially like your coats and stuff. So I'm living a bit dangerously here. I'm going to have my gloves on, but I'm going to try really hard not to spill any down me. But yes, it's such a good idea. It's one of the things I just don't do enough. Like, I always use a little bit of oil with my saddle soap, but not like properly feeding the leather. Like, I just remember years ago, people would really, like, even back to when I was younger, like, people would really feed the leather. Like they would absolutely, also, do you remember people like get new tack and they'd actually like dump it in a bucket of oil and like let it soak, properly let it soak to try and, something just flew off then, really help the leather be strong and supple and just stay in good condition. So one of the reasons I cleaned my brushes the other day was because I was planning on giving Sienna a really good grooming session. Now, obviously, my brushes needed it anyway. They were absolutely filthy. But at this time of year, especially if you've chosen not to clip your horse, they're growing their winter coat. They go quite greasy and dusty. And if you're trying to fit in riding after work, you don't often have much time to do huge amounts of grooming. It's like get the worst of the mud off and get out before the light goes. So if you do have spare time, like on a weekend or something, it's really nice to give them a really decent groom and bring up some of that grease and dust. And yeah, just make them look that little bit smarter and tidier. I've given her one carrot, and this is what I get. She thinks I must be hiding more carrots somewhere. So I'm going to start off with my plastic curry comb and really get the grease up, and then I'm going to use the body brush to get that off, and then I'm going to also just hot cloth her just to get that real lovely shine at the end. Oh, she's never going to leave me alone, is she? One greasy horse later, let's use the body brush. Also, someone's doing their stretches while we're cleaning, which is good. Extra bonus. Just makes such a difference, doesn't it? Just doing a hot cloth or hot kitchen roll in this instance just makes all the difference to getting that shine. Look. Having groomed her, she's still that blinking dirty. You stretching? Good. So if you are planning an outing out to get some rock salt for your yard, I'd recommend picking up some more buckets. Because you know when it starts to freeze, there is nothing worse than not being able to get water out of your yard tap and then you're having to like trek up to a house or goodness knows what else. So get yourself some more buckets, and then the night before it's meant to freeze, you can put several into your tack room, and then at least you've got some water first thing. Also, to help with freezing taps, because it'll happen soon enough, to try and help your taps from freezing up, is to try and insulate them a little bit. So we've obviously got it boarded out here, and underneath here we've got the kind of foam that you can wrap around the pipes. It makes such a difference, and it can really stop you having to, you know, be trekking for buckets of water. So if you're at B&Q or something, get these foam covers. Also for the taps, you know, just put lots of towels over or something like that. And something so, like, maybe this is just me, maybe I'm just a bit stupid, but take the hose off. So the night before you know it's going to freeze overnight, take the hose off, make sure all the water is out of it, and just put it somewhere warm. And then the next morning, normally the tap's okay, and when you click it back on, you can use your hose. I'm dreadful at forgetting about that, and I'll leave the hose on, it freezes, and then most of the time it doesn't even defrost throughout the day, so simply take the hose off. Take the hose off, empty it out, put it somewhere warm. Honestly, it makes all the difference. Another good yard job to be doing at this time of year is checking the drains around your yard. So this is mine down here, and I really do need to sort this out. So I need to clear all the rubbish from around it and remove any muck that's kind of been dropped out of the wheelbarrow or something else, because obviously this can end up blocking the drain, and then it's not as effective, and then when it rains heavily, which it's been doing a lot of recently, more likely to flood. So I'm going to clear away all the grass from around it, clear out all the rubbish that's kind of fallen beside it, and make sure it's actually clean within the grate in there. So hopefully then when it next rains, well, I say hopefully, I don't want it to rain anymore, but when it does rain next, it will be able to take all the volume of water. So another fun job. And voila, one nicely cleaned out grate drain, removed all the grass that was around it, flicked out any of the stones that had gone on top of it. So hopefully next time it rains, it should be able to take all the water that comes out of here. The next job on my list means going up that ladder to look at the guttering. Now, as you can see, ours is looking rather nice and clean because we've literally just done it. But it's a good time of year to clean out your guttering if you're not on a livery yard, if you've rent a yard or got a yard at home, because obviously it's the time of year where the leaves start to really fall. They can block up really quickly. If they get blocked up when it rains, they can start to go over the top. We've definitely had lovely waterfalls coming out over the top of the guttering. It also breaks a lot quicker then as well. So yeah, good idea just to have a little check, clear out all the rubbish, ready for winter. And finally, I'm not sure if this is a tip that I can actually do, but I do recommend it to anyone out there who's trying to keep riding through the winter, and that is to book something in the diary between now and the new year to help keep you motivated to ride. Because let's be honest, when it starts getting windy and wet and just miserable, the enthusiasm for going for a ride dwindles quite a lot. I know for me, certainly, when it's pouring down with rain and it's really grey and I'm just got back from work, I think, I don't want to go out there. But if I know I've got a show coming up, or I know I've booked something in, I'll be like, no, got to keep them fit, we've booked it in. That's what I mean when you have to book it. You have to book it, you've got to pay your money for it. Because if you just think about it and you're thinking, like, oh yeah, I'll aim for something, then you won't do it. So book something in. I am going to leave the vlog there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any November must-dos. I think I'm going to struggle to do a December version. I love the little series I've done. Obviously done September, October and November now, but I think I've used up all my ideas. I don't think I've got anything left for December, but anyway, I've got a couple of weeks to think about it. Hope you have a really good weekend and see you again soon for another vlog.